In today's video, we are going to be diving into the 6 mistakes that I see people making when they are creating and launching their online courses. I've helped over 100 people launch their online courses as well, so I see a lot. Hey everyone, Christine here. If we haven't met yet, I'm Christine and I am a business consultant as well as the founder of my own brand called Sewing in the City, where I sell my own online courses and digital products. Mistake number 1 is making your course too big. So I am totally guilty of this as well. And I think it's natural. I think that when we finally get the courage to share our knowledge and our expertise and our skills, we want to give people everything we know. And time again, especially when it comes to the first course that people create, it's usually too big. So how do you know if your course is too big or even too small? Well, I like to look at the course with fresh eyes in the course platform, or even as just a general outline. And if there are lists and lists of lessons and modules and it feels overwhelming, I usually have a gut instinct that if I log into someone's course and I see it feels overwhelming to me, it's generally too big. So you want to make sure you focus on delivering just one big transformation. So don't try to give people everything in the kitchen sink. Just really make sure you hone in on one big transformation. And what do you do if your course is too big? So one of the things you want to do is look at what you're assuming people already know. Are you trying to teach people from the very beginning of skills that you could maybe assume that they already know? Like for me with Sewing in the City, for example, I have a course that assumes that people know absolutely nothing, and I teach them how to use a machine and choose the fabric and all of the basics. I have another course where I assume that people are at a certain level by the time they come into the course. So that's a good way to really hone in where people are at and what exactly you need to teach and nothing more. And the second thing that is usually happening when a course is too big is we're teaching to all these outlying scenarios. With a course, you want to teach everything and, in this instance, do this, and in this instance, do this. But you want to hone in on the 80% and the 20% that are outliers. That's probably a more advanced course that you have, or a workshop, or some other product that can teach just for those outlying scenarios. So really just focus on the core content that gets the transformation that you're promising. Mistake number 2 that I see all the time is when bonuses to the course are not strategic. So if you've ever logged on or looked at a sales page and you find you have this feeling that they've just thrown in everything, kind of swept the floor and put everything in there, yeah, that's because the bonuses are not strategic. So normally I use my core content is the core of the course. And then I have some bonuses that are strategically addressing the objections for why people won't buy the course or why they won't finish the course, because we want people to finish our courses. We want them to get results. And then that's how I create my bonuses, so that they're strategic and they do not feel like they were just thrown in as an afterthought. So the third mistake that I see so much is when your course doesn't have a job. So what do I mean by this? Well, every course should have a job within your value ladder. So one job, for example, could be that course is a front-end product that's used to attract people in. It's a low-cost, low barrier to entry, it's a no-brainer type of thing. Maybe it's $37, $47, and its job is to attract and bring buyers into your world. So that's one potential job of a course. Another job could be a signature offering that's really teaching your signature method, and it's where you might make actually some profits, where people ascend into. It's a little bit more advanced. It's your signature method. It's your signature, maybe your book or your methodology or your skills. This is a core offering. Another job could be as a high ticket product. So maybe it's a companion to your high ticket coaching or one-on-one services. Make sure your course has a job before you create it. Mistake number 4 that I so often see is when pricing of the course is out of alignment. So I have a whole video on pricing here that you can check out after this one. But basically what this is when the transformation that the course is promising is not worth what I'm trying to sell the course at to my ideal customer. So let's say I'm trying to sell let's say sewing, I'm trying to sell a sewing course for $1,000. But the transformation is just to learn a certain type of technique, like a sewing loungewear, for example. The price versus the transformation is just a little bit out of alignment. But if I was selling a course for $9.97 that was giving me a new skill that I could then make money from, like a business skill or a new skill that I can add to my service offerings, that is going to be worth a whole heck of a lot more than like a how to sew a certain item type of course. Does that make sense? It's not about devaluing your product or your skill in any way. It's really about looking at what the market could hold, what the transformation is worth, and we go more into this in my pricing video, so be sure to check that out. Mistake number 5, oh my gosh, this is a huge one, and this is not doing a proper launch. So many people come to me and they're like, my course isn't selling, it's not selling. And they really haven't done anything to do a proper launch. You have to launch the thing. So normally when I launch a course for the very first time, I'm doing a beta launch style, and I'm gonna walk through this in this video, so be sure to check it out. But basically it entails building up pressure and doing an actual open cart, closed cart for your launch. So that means you're really building pressure and a really tight container for people to buy. And you want to do this proper launch before you go to automate the course sales, because you're going to get testimonials, you're going to get feedback, and you're going to be able to sleep at night because you've had people go through your course in a beta launch and get some momentum going for your course before you put it on automation. Mistake number 6 that I see quite often as well is unrealistic expectations about your course sales. So I don't want to be a buzzkill here, but the days of kind of this imagery of you launch a course and then you sit on the beach and drink Mai Tais is not really reality. So having unrealistic expectations, 1, about how many sales you're going to make, and 2, about the amount of time of customer service time and management of the course and the course sales on an ongoing basis, it's probably different than you might think. Let's talk about course sales. So between 3 and 7% is an industry standard for conversion rate on your sales page. That means every 100 people that land on your sales page, between 3 and 7 of them will buy, and that's industry standard. So, if you think about how many eyeballs you need to have on your offer in order to sell, let's even just say 20 courses, you have to have a lot of eyeballs on that sales page. So a lot of people, have a very small list, which is fine, but they have this expectation to sell 100 courses with that first launch, and that's a disconnect, unrealistic expectation. So you want to really make sure that you have a realistic expectation. 3 to 7% is an ideal industry conversion rate that you can expect. Second part of this is unrealistic expectation when it comes to the amount of customer service that's involved in maintaining a course and selling a course. So right after I launched my first course, I actually brought on a VA for a virtual assistant for 10 hours a week, just to help with the inbox, to help with different questions that people have about the courses before they buy. And this was something that took me a little bit by surprise, the amount of time that it took just managing the emails and questions and everything that comes up in the process of selling a course and maintaining a course. So be sure that you plan for that. Again, in the beginning, it can be maybe from 5 hours to 10 hours a week that you spend in the inbox managing all the day-to-day stuff. Bonus mistake number 7 that I see a lot of people making, and that is not getting help. So there are tons of resources that can help you with the launch of your course. I offer even 60-minute strategy calls that you can book right on my website. I'll drop the link below. We can get on a Zoom and I can help you with your strategy and making sure that you have realistic expectations and have your launch plan nailed down so that you can have a successful course launch ongoing. So don't be afraid to reach out. I'll drop all the links below. I hope this was helpful and I'll see you in my next video. All right, bye.